Patrice Hinton-Oswalt, and I'm an Assistant Director at UAB Career Services. And today we're going to talk about taking your CV and converting it to a resume that will get employers' attention. We're also going to be talking a little bit about how to convert an international CV to an American-style resume as well. Now, as this first slide shows, there are some differences between the curriculum vitae and the resume. A resume is a marketing tool for you to document a summary of your relevant experience in your education. It's similar to the CV in that it also talks about what you do, but the CV is much more expansive. It includes a lot more information about both your education, publications, presentations, and it's focused more in academic, education, scientific, and research job search. That's a document you would see used in those types of environments. It's focused on the credential, the PhD or the terminal degree you have earned in your profession. The resume is focused on your skills. So that's the big difference we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be taking that large amount of information in that CV and breaking it down into a marketing document that you can use for your resume, focusing on your skill sets primarily. Now, both of these documents are used in the interview process. Both of them are used to screen applicants for positions. Both of them can be used then to bring people in for interviews and for anybody seeking employment. However, we're going to focus in on those skills for just a minute. The skills are what the resume is based on. Anything that goes onto that resume should talk about the accomplishments and the duty and the relevant skills that you have, not the duties you've performed. It's very easy to put a resume together and say that I did this, this, and this on the job, but it's much more challenging for us to really sit down and think through our skill sets and make a document that speaks to those skill sets and gets the employer's attention, because that's what they're trying to do is figure out who should I hire for this job, who has the skills that meet my needs. That's what we're trying to write in that resume document. And it's going to, the resume is going to gain a lot more attention from the employer if it is skills-based and not duties-based. Now, the types of skills that we're going to be talking about could be transferable skills, maintaining schedules, using certain types of software, good customer service skills. Those are all skills you can take from one environment and transfer them to another. We also want to talk about work content skills. Well, if you're a teacher, you assign grades. If you're a doctor, you diagnose patients. Those are work-specific skills. And then there are personal traits or personality traits. I'm a quick learner, I'm flexible, I'm a good team player. Anything you list on that resume, though, you can't just put it in a list. You have to then show them how you have that skill within the body of the work experience. So we don't just want to tell them you've got the skill, we're also going to show them that you have the skill. Now let's take a look for a minute at skills that employers value. This list shows the top 10 skills that employers value. So this is a good clue right away for skills you need to highlight about yourself. Now, any of us can pull a job description in a field or an industry that we're interested in going into, study that job description. It's going to tell you not only the minimum and preferred qualifications, it's also going to tell you what they want you to do, what kind of skills that they want to see the person who will be successful in this job have. So job postings are a great way to get skill sets that you want to highlight for a resume, especially for a particular industry. At UAB, students also have access to a program called Type Focus. Type Focus allows you to take some assessments that look at your personality strengths, careers that fit those strengths. It also assesses values, interests, and skills. You can get to Type Focus through your Dragon Trail account. And you can get to your Dragon Trail account, just if you don't have a Dragon Trail account, just go to the UAB Career Services website that's at the end of this presentation and register. And you can access Type Focus through that site. It's a great tool to use when you're trying to write this resume and really trying to get yourself thinking in terms of skill sets. You can also just simply do some research on the profession or the industry to help you understand, again, more of the skills that they're trying to look for in a person who's going to be successful in that particular industry. The message on your resume has got to be focused on the reader. It's no longer about your credential. It's no longer about the graduate degree you have. It's about the skills you can bring to that employer or that industry, especially unique skill sets or combination of skill sets that you have that employer or that industry are looking for. That's going to make you more marketable. So the resume has to be targeted to that industry, highlighting those skill sets. Everything on that resume has got to be relevant to the employer's needs. You have no space to waste on a resume. It's a much shorter document than a CV, so everything on there has to be concise. Every sentence you write on there has to pack some punch for the employer. It has to be very consistent format in the document. Your fonts, your tabs, your spacing, everything has to flow nicely. And it really has got to be skill-spaced, highlighting you, and that's what's going to draw you in for that interview. Because the purpose of the resume is not to get you the job. That's not going to happen. Frequently with a CV, they're looking more at the CV in terms of, okay, this person has a body of work that we might want to have. We might want to hire this person. But the resume has a lot less information, so you're simply trying to get in there for that interview with that resume. You can think of it like the cover of a book. It has a little bit of information about what's contained in the book itself. You scan the cover, you scan the flaps, and maybe it gets you interested in opening or buying the book. That's what your resume is about. You're trying to get that prospective employer involved in whether or not they want to call you in for that interview. It's got to discuss concisely who you are, what your skills are, what you bring to the employer, and it's got to pique that employer's interest in order to get you screened in for an interview. In the next section, we're going to talk about a 4-stage process that's going to allow you to take your CV and break it down into a resume.